Good morning. I want to start off by reading the words of Isaiah 40 verse 1. The words read, "Comfort, comfort my people, says your God." We are living in a world where we are constantly bombarded by the devil and his attacks on us. And we feel sometimes hopeless and helpless. But today, I hope that my study with you will encourage you, that I'll bring words of comfort from God's word to you today. I want us to jump to the book of Daniel again, but I want this time just to go to Daniel chapter 12 first of all, and I want to read these words. Daniel chapter 12 verse 1. At that time, Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. Now, the name Michael here makes us jump right back again to Revelation chapter 12, where we were told that Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels, and that Michael defeated the dragon, and that his place in heaven was found no longer. It's interesting that Michael is powerful. He's the Lord of hosts. The interesting thing about the name Michael is that there is a question asked in it: who is like God? And as we study this word today, the question I want you to think about is, who is like God? Who can do what God does? Who can be so victorious as God is? And who can comfort as God can comfort? I want us to jump back to Daniel chapter 1. And in Daniel chapter 1, as we read last time, we were introduced to a warfare. Jerusalem has been defeated by Babylon. The treasures of the temple, some of the royalty, the people are all taken captive back to Babylon. The treasures found in the temple in Jerusalem are put in the temple of Nebuchadnezzar's god, Baal-Marduk. But I want to share something with you today that I hope will really be of encouragement to you. And this is that it's not always the change of your circumstances that indicates victory. Here we seem to find Daniel and his three friends, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. We find them in Babylon. They are of the royalty. They are eunuchs. They are called aside to be trained to work and to teach in the city of Nebuchadnezzar, to work for him. And it seems as if evil has been victorious over the good. But I want to show you again that although Daniel and his three friends found themselves in this defeated circumstances, they did something that tells me the truth of what it means to be victorious in your circumstances. And that is this. It's Daniel chapter 1, verse 8. But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the chief officials for permission not to defile himself in this way. It's interesting that the way in which Daniel was victorious here in this defeated circumstances was that he chose not to allow these defeated circumstances to dictate to him how he should live. But he chose to still honor God in this time. It's interesting that when you look at the name Daniel, the Hebrew teaches me that this name means God is my judge. And I want you to always remember that in the circumstances you find yourself in, although the world might judge you harshly, the true judge, the true loving judge, the true comforting judge is God. God will always let truth be triumphant. I also want you to notice here that it's not the circumstances that molded Daniel, but it was his choices that he made that molded Daniel. I'm counseled and told that right decisions made over and over are those things that actually create a habit, and that habits in the long term create character. May you, in your experience today, choose, although you find yourself in this world which is Babylon, in a state of confusion, in a state of unfairness, that you allow God to be your judge, that you will make a choice to serve him today in all that you do. May God be with you today.